Perry Peacock here today with Wilderness Innovation, and just want to show a few tips with using our tarps, or really for that matter any square tarps. All of our tarps at this point in time are all square. They're 7 by 7 feet or 8.5 by 8.5 feet, or this one here is our PSTL, the large, which is 10 feet by 10 feet. Now, one of the popular things about using a square tarp is the diamond pitches, or I call them diamond pitches or diagonal pitches, like this, where you're anchoring one corner at the back end, you got the other opposite corner up here elevated, and you stake the other two corners, bam, bam, bam. You know, four tent stakes, you're up, you're good. You got almost 100 square feet of floor space in there, which is excellent, very easy to get. Now, let me show you. There are some tricks, however, to think about when it comes to using a square tarp and a diamond pitch. I want to show you a few things today that will help maximize how you use your square tarp. Show you one of the problems that occurs with the diamond pitch or diagonal pitch. We've got a 10 by 10 square tarp here that is anchored on the one corner and the opposite corner up in the air. So that means we've got 14 feet of fabric across here from corner to corner, and what that means is it's almost impossible to try to tension that thing well enough in order to get a nice good fit. And so what happens is we get a little bit of sag in the middle. You see the wind kind of let up, and now the whole thing is kind of sagging down. And you still have the same amount of floor space inside, but you don't have much head space. It's almost very little head space except for right in the middle. Let me show you a very easy, quick trick to take care of that. So I'm inside, and I'm going to put a stick in here right in the very center of the tarp. Now with that, you can see what a huge difference that made. Just one stick about waist high, right dead center in the middle of that tarp, pitched on the diagonal. So now I'm only going about 7 feet from that pole back to the tent. I actually added almost 2 feet of headspace inside of there by lifting up on that pole. All of our tarps come with a tent stake bag that has a Velcro sewn in the bottom. All of our tie-out tabs that are in the middle section of the tarp have a Velcro patch on the inside. So that means I can put my tent stake bag over top of any pole, and I can place it in there. The Velcro will attach, that keeps the pole from falling over, and we have no penetrations through the tarp at all. Everywhere there's a Velcro on the inside, there's a loop on the outside, so you can do this from the inside or outside depending on how things are situated. So I'm sitting on my stool right here. I still have all this floor space in here, but I have very little headroom. Look how low it is inside of here. I mean, I can only sit upright on a little stool right here on the very front without, well, and even now my head's touching. So now, let me put that pole up and watch the difference that makes. Now look how much room I've got in here. I'm still kind of up against it, but look, my roof line is clear back to that pole, and instead of everything being clear down here, it's up here. So now I have more head space here, and over there, you remember that was barely off the ground. Now we have a little bit more space. Now I could go up even higher. I mean, see, I can go up another 8 inches or so. Now look what that did. So see right here? So simply the addition of either a pull-up on the outside or a pull on the inside right here, dead center in the middle, look what a huge difference that makes in what kind of space I have inside here. Let me take the pole all the way out. So now look at that. This totally changes the value of this tarp right here. I have a lot of space in here a lot of head space, and look at, and the room at the back is just incredible. Before, the whole back was almost on the ground. Now I have space all the way in here, almost to the edges and almost to the back. One of the advantages of a diagonal pitch on a square tarp is that I have a roof over my head, and I'm covered on 3 sides. I have one side open. So in essence, it gives me 3 walls and a roof with one pitch. Many times I've even built a small fire right here. So it's out, you know, like it's raining outside. I built a small fire right here, cooked on a small fire, or used one of the twig type stoves that uses twigs or sticks of wood to burn. Right here, I can do it right inside of here, and I can do it so I'm out here kind of in the overhang part. That way that most of the smoke kind of swirls on out of here, gets pulled out of here. Works very, very nicely. This is a great, great setup, and it's one of the reasons that we chose to make our first series of tarps all square, because of the versatility of the diamond or diagonal pitches. So now I added a pole there and a pole right here, which lifts up even more. Now 25% of this tarp is higher than my head. So now I have a tremendous addition to how much headroom is inside of here. Now you can leave I just jammed the poles in here like this because I have another step I'm going to do here, but you can actually make these poles upright and tie them off like we did this center pole with a tent stake and a cord. Now, you know, when you buy a tarp from us, you get 6 tent stakes and you get 5 hanks of 20-foot hanks of parachute cord. So all this is doable with what comes with your tarp when you get it from. You don't have to buy anything else. It's ready to go. All these setups, other than supplying your own pole here, but in your own poles, but other than that, you're good to go right out of the bag from us. Look at these side elevations over here. Now I could put some gear and stuff over there because I'm lifting up enough on here that I'm a lot more vertical than I was before. So now I'm gaining a lot of usable space just by adding 2 more poles to it. And basically I haven't changed my pole here in the front. I have not changed my pole in the back. And to this point I haven't even changed my tent stakes on the corner. And this is like the third change in the setup that I've done without changing my 4 anchor points. Okay, now I hope you can appreciate what you can do with these tarps like this PSTL. I have now totally transformed this thing into a whole nother beast by putting these posts that I had kind of angled before. I put them higher, straight up and down. I haven't even got them tied out. If I tie them out to a cord, you know, I can tension up on here a little bit more than what I am. But look, it's just fine like it is. But now look what I've given myself. I have nearly vertical sidewalls here and here. I have more room in the back because I actually put a new pole back here that was knuckle to elbow longer than what I had in there before. So now I have just a slight slope on this whole section of my shelter. I have vertical walls. I have nearly vertical walls on 3 sides. So now look, I can go, I'm right out here against it. Somebody else could be sitting over there, could have gear in the middle. I mean, there's a lot of space inside of this shelter, and I have yet to change my riser pole and my corner stake in the back corner. Those things have never changed in everything that I've done for you today. I moved these stakes here in several feet towards me so that I could get this vertical wall. But now look at this. I have totally transformed this shelter. Now I could still, right out here in the front area, I could have a little barbecue out there. I could have a little stove, a little fire, whatever, right out there in front. And it's mostly in the open, but it's shielded from the direct rain or something like that. And I can sit in here and I can be shaded from the sun, I can be out of the rain, whatever. We can put sleeping gear down the sides and the back. You can put gear in the back. There is a ton of space inside this shelter, and that's why we love tarp shelters, because it allows you to do anything your mind can figure out to do with it. So let me show you a side view of this, just so before we close out, so you can just kind of get an idea of that. All right, so here's your outside view of the shelter. So look how we're like about 5 feet high, clear back there at our center of the shelter. We've got nearly vertical sidewalls, and if I tie it right now, so I can leave it like that, it's fine. If I put a cord on there and pull that out and tie it off, you know, I tighten everything up a little bit here. That's even better, especially in a windy situation. You want to do that. But I mean, when you look at a flat piece of tarp, sometimes it's hard to get into your head how many things you can actually do with a flat tarp. But by us putting this so many tabs all the way around, by putting the tie outs and the velcros in the middle of the tarp, I mean, it just gives you so much that you can do. It's just amazing. And we give you, like I say, we give you five 20-foot hanks of parachute cord, 6 9-inch ABS nearly unbreakable stakes. We give you 3 sections of shock cord with a cord lock on them, which I haven't even got into that yet. There is so much you can do with that. It's amazing. That's going to be that's a whole nother video, just what you can do with that. I can stand up, but I can just touch my head a little bit, but I can make a longer pole. I mean, this one right here is like maybe a hair over 6 feet. Well, what if I cut this at 7 feet? I mean, I can change the whole thing anytime I want. So you can make this taller, you can make it shorter, you can make it anything you want because it's a tarp. And that's what I absolutely love about the tarp shelters. Now, to close things off here, this is just, I'm actually getting excited setting this thing up all these different ways. Just because it gets the creative juices going when you start messing around with this, because you start thinking, well, what if I did this? What if I moved that pole there? What if I made that higher? What if I made that lower? What if I moved that in? I mean, buy one of them and do it. I'd love that. We have a whole playlist on YouTube. We have a whole playlist of just setups on YouTube, let alone we have a whole nother playlist of the tarp. I mean, you can do so much with this. It's just astounding. And the quality is fantastic. Take care. Love your time in the outdoors. I absolutely do. Be sure and like us, comment. Be sure and share if you'd like to share this video with other people. We appreciate so much all of our viewers and our customers. And you guys are what make it possible for us and for us to keep bringing you these videos and little tips and tricks and stuff like that. So, take care. Perry Peacock, Wilderness Innovation. Absolutely loving my time in the outdoors. Have a great day.